what's up? Welcome back to another edition of the Mandatory Live. If you like the content, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. You can also follow us on our social media channels. We're at the Mandatory TKO. You can also see in the description, if you're on the looking at the screen on YouTube, you can see where you can follow us. You can also find it in the description below where it has all the show notes if you're listening to this on the audio side, because you can also find us on the audio side. Yes. So if you got a couple of minutes, leave a rate and review, give us a 5-star, because that's always going to help the channel grow.
Xander Zayas, 21-0, 13 knockouts. Jorge Garcia's 4 losses. I'm going to pull up his record in a sec. But here, we haven't seen him since the Slava Spomer fight. We thought that was a good performance up here. He got the stoppage in the 9th round, won every round, basically. There was one round where he got, like, not rocked, but, like, you know, he got hit a few times. But it was a fight that he pretty much dominated. And you'll see a lot of this, like 190. Like, he doesn't really lose rounds. People just want to see more power. People just want to see that stoppage ability that you see from other superstar Puerto Ricans. Xander Zayas is not that, at least not yet. Maybe he will be, maybe he won't. We'll see. This is part of the test. I think that this is a chance to grab the torch, so to speak, because in terms of superstardom amongst Puerto Rican boxers, Xander Zayas, who's going to face Jorge Garcia Perez, Xander Zayas is not going to, is not going to become a superstar with this win, but he definitely won't become one if he loses. You get what I'm saying? Like, if he loses this fight, then that's trouble. Jorge Garcia, by the way, this is important right here. He's never been stopped in his career. So if Xander Zayas wins by decision, people are going to be like, oh, but this is a guy who's tough, who's never been stopped. He's Mexican. We know. Mexican from Mexico. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude is tough. He's on a big winning streak, too. It's not even just the Charles Conwell win, although that's the one that people will gravitate to. And that was a legit win. That's the best win of his career. He's got 8 straight wins. A bunch of them by knockout, all but 3. He has a few losses here. You see one to Atunde Michelle William. This was in Mexico. This was probably kind of an upset given that it was in Mexico, but undefeated no less. Carlos Ocampo, famous for getting the shit beaten out of him by Errol Spence in round 1 and then taking Sebastian Fundora to distance, to which people were like, And then Sebastian Fundora did what he did this weekend, so we'll see. And then a couple other upset losses here. So all the losses have been like, decisions. Only the Carlos Ocampo one was like not even close. Everything else was a split. So this is not going to be an easy fight, I don't think, especially coming off the Charles Conwell performance. That's where I'm at with that, Shantelle.
Yeah, so honestly, this is a really tough fight for Xander. I don't think this is a layup for him. Jorge Garcia is actually a really, really tough fighter, and he's going to come forward and he's going to throw some shots. And he does have pop on his shots. He does definitely have pop on his shots. But I think this will be a great test for Xander Zayas because it's not a huge name, but it's a very tough opponent. We have Champy saying that he's going to pick Jorge Garcia over Xander Zayas in this. Yeah, because it's not a layup for Xander, actually. And he also, Champy also said, not sold on Xander at all. Champy, let us know why. We want to hear this. Here's the thing. I think Xander has all the attributes. He has the skill. He's not like this devastating power puncher, but he's going to be able to move around the ring, land some good shots, and he has great body punches. He does great body work. Now, for a guy like Jorge Garcia, he does leave himself open at times, and he does make some mistakes defensively, but he has never been stopped before. This is going to be a very exciting fight, and I want to know how Xander is actually going to play this. Do you think he should probably want to fight from a distance, but Jorge Garcia is not going to want that. Jorge Garcia is going to be aggressive in this fight.
Mm-hmm.
So lateral movement is going to be very important for a guy like Xander in this fight because he's going to want to get to the body. He's going to want to work the jab in this fight, right? So this is going to be a very, very interesting fight. And I think there's going to be a lot of action in this fight, actually, Bryan. There has to be.
Garcia's going to try to push him. Xander doesn't have the size advantage in this fight either.
Yeah.
Garcia's 6 feet tall. I don't remember if his reach is. I don't remember what his reach is.
Champy says 6'4". Is it 6'4"?
There is his reach 6'4". He's listed 6 feet tall. That I know.
Okay.
I don't know if his
Yeah.
reach is 6'4". That would
No,
be
it
significantly longer than
you mean
Xander Zayas is,
yeah.
if that's the case. But we'll see. I mean, the way he beat Charles Conwell, and that was a split. I thought, I kind of thought they were gonna rob him low key.
Yeah, no, I thought they were because remember the hype on Charles Conwell for a little minute? Like
74
they're
inch reach. Just
okay.
just checked.
Probably a
74.
typo. Probably a typo from
Yeah.
Chappie, I'm guessing.
So it's the same. It's the same reach as Xander. Although Jorge is obviously like I think he's gonna want to be in Xander's face a little bit more. Xander's quicker for sure, and I think to your point, he's gonna want to use his speed. He was listed 6'1" when he fought Charles Conwell. BoxRec has him at 6 feet tall, but regardless, he's tall. Um, and in that fight early on, Charles Conwell was actually backing him up a little bit before, he settled in. But we'll see. He's going to mix up his attack. He's going to jab Xander Zayas to the body. Then he's going to go upstairs. He's got like a whole bunch of different shots in his arsenal. He's going to try to be busy as the fight goes. Xander gets busy also. Like he's a volume puncher. Like we've said, if he stops guys, it's going to be with like just a lot of punishment. It's usually not with one shot. And we'll see. He's only 22. We keep saying that about his age, but like that is a factor in all of this. Like he's 22. He's younger than the bulk of guys that we saw this past weekend, who people are like, hey, now Sebastian Fundora is this all of a sudden. And, he's significantly older than Xander Zayas is, for example. So I think this is going to be interesting. The body punching, who's going to win that battle, the jab battle, and not just the body punching, but the power punches to the body as well. Xander Zayas obviously wants to get to his left hook to the body. Garcia will probably want to do the same, as a matter of fact. So it's a good, tough, interesting matchup. And I think stylistically, you could argue that it's a more problematic one than Charles Conwell would have been. Like I know people were very excited about Charles Conwell potentially beating Xander Zayas, but to be honest with you, I thought Xander Zayas, if they do fight, like I still think he wins that fight. Like I don't want to say easily, but I think this one is a little more like, like it's plausible that Garcia can do this. It absolutely is. And even odds wise, he's just plus 270, which that sounds like a lot, but for boxing, it's not really that big of an underdog. It's not.
No, not at all. And I think that a lot of people might look at those odds and kind of take a guy like Jorge Garcia because and we've talked about this before. I feel like there was a lot of pressure on a guy like Xander Zayas to be that guy. And I think eventually he will because I think he has the skill set. I think people kind of underrate him a little bit. And if you're thinking Xander Zayas is overhyped, then you take a look at that plus 290 and you're like, that's an interesting number that you might probably want to bet on. Good value there. But here's the thing. Xander Zayas is more skilled than Jorge Garcia. He's more skilled. He also has better footwork than Jorge Garcia. Jorge Garcia can be a little bit one-dimensional at times, but he is also very crafty. So that's why I think it's going to be an interesting fight. And then there is the size difference. How will Xander Zayas kind of neutralize that as well? And I think he's going to try to fight on the outside, obviously, and stick and move, use his lateral movement, get to the body. And yeah, he's not going to probably have this like one punch that's like devastating, but what Xander Zayas actually does is he breaks you down throughout the fight. And that's why it always turns out to be a very good fight. So also keep in mind that Jorge Garcia does get touched a lot and it's gonna come down to body punches and stuff too, right? Xander Zayas throws like a lot of combos, very good combos. And
Great
he's
point.
and so I think that a lot of people are going to go into this fight thinking Xander could possibly lose, but I think Xander Zayas is going to win this fight. But I think it could also be 116, 112, a fight like that. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe a 116, 112. I could see it being a little bit like I could see Xander also dominating in this fight, but I don't know because it's going to be tricky. And I do really like Jorge Garcia. And by the way, I think Xander Zayas would beat Charles Conwell as well. So
Yeah,
those are kind of my thoughts on the fight.
The mistake Conwell was making too was he was letting Garcia just get off first. And he would kind of stand there and try to counter, and Garcia will have thrown like 3-4 punches. And Garcia wasn't even like, again, he's not very fast. You know what I mean? Like he's not like he was kind of telegraphing some of these shots too, and Conwell was just like overly patient, waiting to counter. Um, But Xander's got the speed advantage, and I wonder to what degree is that going to matter. I do think, like, if we look at this fight, and I think even if he wins 120 to 108 and just sweeps all 12 rounds, which I don't think that's going to be the case, but if he does do that, I think people will still be underwhelmed and be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, he still has to show me something." To which I'd be like, "Yo, dude, like Garcia's good. Like he's tough. He's never been stopped. I'm not even sure if he's been dropped in his career before." Um, but like I think Xander wins this. You said probably 8 rounds to 4. That wouldn't surprise me at all. I could see 9-3. I could even see 7-5. Like I could see
Yeah.
this being a split, like one of those things. But to me, I would be surprised if Xander stopped him, admittedly. As much as I do like Xander's skill set, and as much as I think like he's all around good, like really solid. It's just the finishing ability when you get to this top level. Like that's really what I have questions about. And can he sharpen up his defense a little bit more? I actually think his defense has
Yeah.
progressed, but like he can still get clipped a little bit. This is going to be a fight where Garcia will be looking to clip him. He's going to eat some shots, especially those left hooks to the body, um, punches and bunches, and like he's not a headhunter. He's not just a body snatcher. Like he's going to throw variety at you. Garcia is. So is Xander. So
Yeah.
it's like the perfect first test. Like if you're world championship level, this is a good opponent for you, right? Garcia is tough enough, and he has to like I would study the Carlos Ocampo fight, because he could do a lot of what Carlos Ocampo did in terms of neutralizing Garcia and being able to win that battle in that way. And Ocampo was not somebody who had like an appreciably big size advantage or anything like that going into that fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want to talk about a crafty performance. That was when he was on his winning streak building up to that. It was either the Errol Spence fight or the Sebastian Fundora fight. But Carlos Ocampo basically has the same dimensions as Xander Zayas, where he's 5'10". His reach is about 74 inches. So he needs to study that fight. I'm sure he has. And he does his homework. Like he is somebody who I've seen get incrementally better. And this is what I was saying when he was getting compared to Edgar Berlanga. And I was like, no, 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 no. Xander's the better one of the two, like by far, because he actually like works and gets better. And I think he will put in the work, and we'll ultimately see how good that's going to be. But Edgar has been one dimensional since he was an amateur. Like he just was. Xander's not one dimensional. He just needs finishing ability at the world class level, and he'll get a chance to prove it. Again, he's 20. He's not going to be 23 till September. You know what I mean? So there's a chance he wins a world title before his 23rd birthday. Not many dudes could do that. So we'll see. It's a great. I think it's a great fight. The card is good too, by the way.
Yeah. And here's the thing about the power, because we had our good friend Steven say that Zayas needs power. And I'll say this, like, he's only 23 years old. I don't even think he's grown into his power. Like, he's still like growing into like his full body. Like, you know what I mean? He's still very young. And so I don't even think we've seen his power yet. And it might be a thing like Bud Crawford, as he moved up in weight, his power got more significant. So it could also be that. But he's only 23 years old. So he's very, very young. So I don't even mind at the fact that right now people are saying he doesn't have power, because he can stop you in other ways, because he's good at everything, right? He has the skill set. So that's kind of where I stand on that. I'm going to take Xander Zayas by decision, and I think he's going to win like 8 rounds to 4, something along those lines. I wouldn't be surprised if it was now 9 rounds to 3. And then I also would not be surprised if it's like a very, very close fight, like 115, 113.
Yeah,
There could
I
be there could
think
be a judge. There could be a judge that has it like 115, 113. Like, so I'm like, yo, like it could be like a majority decision or something like that. But it's very interesting. This is gonna be a good fight, you guys.
yeah, and I think Garcia, like he's the B side and he knows it. So if he wins 9 rounds to 3, he may get a draw. So he's gonna have to really bring it in order to get a decision, I think. So we'll see. I'm leading in your direction too. I would think Xander gets this by decision. That was minus 145. I try to look for a better number, see if I can get something better than minus 145, but that's where I ultimately see this going. I'd be surprised if he got the stoppage, though I think he's obviously capable of being the first guy to stop Garcia. I think Garcia is
Yeah.
capable of potentially stopping him or potentially winning. Like there's a wide range of outcomes here. This is not it's not like the Clarissa Shields fight where I'm like, I think I know how this is gonna go. And it's Clarissa Shields by however she wants. This isn't one of those fights. This is a legit fight. And we'll see what happens moving forward. But I think this is a great spot for both guys. Xander Zayas, now he gets to prove it. at the world championship level, and Jorge Garcia gets this big opportunity that could be a huge, tremendous breakthrough for him. It's the last, and we're going to talk more about this probably next week. This is the last scheduled ESPN Top Rank card. So we'll see what happens as far as where Top Rank goes from here. That's worth mentioning. So Xander's in that big spot too. Like this is going to be the last fight that we see in the Top Rank ESPN era, unless they come to an 11th hour sort of extension. But we'll see.